dollar terms. Even for the average regular mainstream school that will think that they are doing you a favor to pick your child, you will need to provide a personal caregiver, and you possibly need to pay more to get a child into school.
Wow, that's tough. Very, very. Okay, so do you still have people glancing at you when you're taking your house?
I always tell people that I haven't really given that kind of stigma thing an opportunity to happen in my life. So I move everywhere with her. I don't go looking at people and checking whether people have seen me or not. There are people who will see her and come up to her and say hello, and there are those who will stare. For me, when I see you staring very much, I will just come to you and say, "Oh, she has cerebral palsy," and try to educate you on it. So I haven't given that kind of stigma. And there was a time that my car wasn't working, and I sat in church with her, and someone was looking at me, and immediately I gave the person my phone and I say, "Take a picture of that." So then the person just was caught unawares, kind of, and became involved in the whole thing.
I wish I could see her. How is she doing?
She's fine. Cerebral palsy is a neurological condition. So what happens is that the ability of a child to move is not there. So some of them are not sitting, some of them are not. They are just lying down. Some are stiff, and they need a lot of massage, physiotherapy to get them to a certain level. My daughter now can sit. My daughter crawls, can hold on to something to stand, but it's not working yet, and it's not talking.
How old is she?
She's 6.
Wow. Looking at education for cerebral palsy, what are the options?
It's a very difficult situation. In recent times, I've tried to put my child into mainstream school. We have the inclusive education policy, which says that all children should be allowed to go into school. It's been very difficult. I don't want to mention the schools, but I've gone to roughly 5 schools along my stretch where I stay between Adenta and Dodua.
Okay.
And everybody will say no. And when I don't go and say that, oh, I just want admission. I go sit down with them and explain to them this is a condition my daughter has. I'm not even looking at academics, I'm looking at social life for her and also for myself to be able to go to work. So I need her to be here. I'm even ready to go extra to employ someone who will be with her in the class and feed and change diapers. They still say no.
Wow.
Yes.
That's surprising.
They still say no. And some of these are Christian schools that is supposed to be embracing and everything. They still say no.
Do we have enough schools for them?
We don't have any school in Ghana for children with cerebral palsy. People will always say, oh, Jolu Special School or some other school, but this is the situation. When you go to Jolu Special School, the children there are more children with autism or children with Down syndrome. You hardly see a child with cerebral palsy in Jolu Special School. If a child with cerebral palsy is in Jolu Special School, it means that the child is probably walking and talking. It's just maybe some jerky movement. We have learned that a child with cerebral palsy should not be put in a special school. Children learn through imitation. So a child with autism might have behavioral issues. A child with cerebral palsy only have movement issues and not behavioral issues. So once you put that child in a group of children that have behavioral issues, you let your child retrogress instead of progressing. So these children, I think that is why people are talking inclusive. They need to be mainstreamed into mainstream education. Unfortunately, the policy sits there, but it doesn't work.
You have some plans that will change the situation up this year. Can you kindly share with us?
Yes, so because of my daughter, I started what is called the Special Mothers Project. In recent times, when I had difficulty in terms of putting her to school, I started what is called a Special Mothers Inclusive Center. I am starting in my home. what I do is to get people who come in, train them about cerebral palsy, and then try to get the children to get into society. So we host the children. We try to take them for maybe swimming. We try to take them for maybe music therapy. We are trying to talk to schools to see if they can even spend one day a week in a school to mix with the other children to kind of promote inclusion and also give the parents a place for their children to go so that they can work. Like I said, it's very expensive bringing up such a child. So if you can't work or it's only one income that is coming into the house, it's very, very difficult. That is what causes all the marriage breaks and everything when you have such
so
children.
stressful.
Yes.
Very, very stressful. When do you take up this program?
The program has started. I've recruited one person who comes in. For now, the person comes once a week into the house. I'm training her to learn my daughter so that we take it off on a gradual scale that we have started.
Have you started promoting on social media?
Yes, I have. I have.
And how was the response?
It was very encouraging. I got parents calling, but again, it's distance. Where I stay and where some of those parents stay is very far. Another thing I'm encouraging is that parents should form small groups, small support groups. One person can decide that I'm using my home for what I'm doing. Someone can also replicate it somewhere. So we get some of these dotted across the country so that parents could serve as support for themselves.
Can you kindly share with us your social media handle? Probably your number.
Okay, so I have a page for the Special Mothers Project, a Special Mothers Project in Ghana on Facebook.
Okay.
I have a YouTube, Special Mothers, Twitter, all of it is Special Mothers, LinkedIn, where I share videos to encourage parents and other things. A lot of parents follow and are encouraged by it. And my number is 0244 547980. Please, WhatsApp is preferred. But I prefer WhatsApp. It makes me be able to respond to you at any point in time when I have some hands to.
You should join Instagram as well. You know that.
I'm on Instagram as parenting counselor. So because of my daughter, I did psychology in the university, and then because of my daughter, I went to take a counseling course. And now what I'm doing is to try and counsel parents on how their journey will be. Because in the early years, there are a lot of talks, go here, do that, which kind of destabilizes parents and really stress them. So I'm doing a lot of counseling as well. So I'm on Instagram as parenting counselor.
Have you tried soliciting for funds?
It's been very difficult. Well, the project have taken care of a few parents and one child now. We have one child in a facility called Impact Care Rehabilitation Foundation, a child whose mother died and was left with a 90-year-old grandma. The child was just kind of abandoned in a certain village. The child was brought to my attention, and then I went to bring the child into Accra, into that facility. So people do contribute for us to support that child in the school. What we need funds for is more of awareness. We want to kind of talk to the media more on how we can report such issues. Most of the times is the pity side. We don't talk the policy, we don't talk about how the parents can do something or how society in general can contribute to change the lives of such families. So we want to engage organizations. There's Department of Social Welfare. I'm sure they know very little about it. The National Council for Civic Education to incorporate some of these things in their training. That is what we are looking for funds for now.
Fantastic. So, Hannah, kindly drop your number again and your social media handles and your last words to listen to.
So my social media handles on Facebook is Special Mothers Project in Ghana. We have YouTube accounts, Special Mothers. We have Twitter, Special Mothers or Hannah Waji. And then we have LinkedIn. My number is 0244 547980. Please, WhatsApp is preferred. And my last word to any parent that is going through a challenge with a child who has special needs or cerebral palsy for that matter, what I would like to say is that don't lose hope, but rather seek help. It's only when we talk about it that society gets aware of. Many people have kept their children and are battling with things that are killing them slowly. But once you come out and you talk about it, I'm sure that someone can reach out to you and help.
Some might even mistake it for ritual stuff.
Oh, it
Witchcraft
does
and all that.
happen. It does happen. It does happen. I mean, the first thing people will ask is, so have you tried prayers? You know, but prayers work, but you are dealing with this for life and you need to be grounded and understand what you are going through to be able to face the situation.
Thank you very much for that insightful information.
You're welcome.
And my greetings to your little one. I wish to see you someday. Have a blessed day.
You too. Thank you very much for having me.